Hey crafty friends, this is Chelsea. Welcome to today's video. I'm so excited to be creating with you today. I am using the brand new Creative Design Team 12 by 12 sketchbook, and this video is a collaboration with the Creative Design Team, so make sure you look for the rest of their videos linked at the end of this one. The sketchbook has all the cutting dimensions, the suggested photo sizes, and it just makes scrapbooking so easy. So I picked some photos. I chose a layout that has a lot of photos. So I picked all of these little ones of Isabella when she was quite a bit younger, and our dog Frankie just sunbathing there. And I thought these would make a really good layout. I decided to use the Sweet Memories collection from Close to My Heart. I've used this a little bit already, but I had quite a few stickers left, as well as quite a few of the pattern papers. You can see my favorite pattern. There's not a ton of it left. If you like vintage or shabby chic, I think you would like this paper collection. Along with the stickers, I also have some of the die cuts left. These are really nice embellishments. They're like thin chipboard. They're called paperboard, but they're nice and thin, but still very sturdy. So I have a few of those left on there, and let's go ahead and get started. I put my Versamats out. I always like to scrapbook on these to help me get things lined up. And starting with my usual 12 by 12 white cardstock, I love using that as a base. Thankfully, I had the measurements on the sketchbook, so I didn't really have to think about what size papers I needed. I just had to choose my patterns, which to me is way more fun than trying to decide what size to cut those. So now I'm going to lay out my photos following the sketch. And I did specifically choose the one on the left there because it had that big empty corner, and I could layer the top one over just like it's layered in the sketch. Now, if I was designing one of these collage style layouts on my own, I could spend forever moving things around and tweaking the layout and, just sliding photos this way and that way. So it's really nice having the sketch showing me where to put everything. There's a good sized journaling block, so I'm just going to put some white cardstock there for now. And then for matting my photos, I thought maybe white would work good, just a thin border of white. But of course, the top of my page is white, so it really doesn't pop. So I'm just going to try a couple of different colors. This is periwinkle, and that would work. It's in the pattern paper, but it seems kind of soft and blends in with the gray quite a bit. This was just way too much gray. That's the charcoal on the light side, and it matches, but it's just too much gray. I like this mulberry. It kind of brings out the pinks like in her skin and is different enough, but it's also in the pattern paper, so it all ties in together. So I went ahead, I double matted. I have a thin border of white and then my border of mulberry. And you'll notice the one on the end, the 3x3 of Frankie sleeping there. I didn't have a mat on it because I want to use this 3x3 postage frame. So really fun thin cut. I took one of the pattern papers from the collection. It has periwinkle and white on it, and I die cut it with that thin cut. And I love how it really makes that photo pop, whereas before that photo just kind of blend right into the page on top of the gray cameras there. But I want to bring in that postage frame in other places on my layout. So I'm going to put it over where my title is going, and then I need to find a third spot because I want to have 3 clusters of embellishment just like it shows in the sketch. So that would work for this. But then I'm kind of thinking, is that too much right there? Do I want to bring it over? I could tuck it under these photos here, but I don't know if I like that. I think it's a little bit too close to the title one, and it kind of just blends in with the background there. So I'm going to go back and put it over here where the embellishment cluster is designed to go, and just kind of have it poking out the bottom there. I have this leftover frame from the workshop kit, so there are special die cuts that come in that kit that you can't get any other way. There's also special papers, like custom papers that coordinate that come in those kits. So I snagged that little frame from there. I made the rest of the layouts from that kit with my VIPs and customers, and so I had just a few pieces left over. Now I'm going to the sticker sheet. Usually at this point I would reach for a stamp set, and actually I don't think I'm going to use any stamps today, which is really weird for me, but I have quite a few embellishments that I want to use, stickers and things like that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and skip the stamping. It's so strange. I'm adding some sage, cardstock, sprigs, and leaves. This is a retired die, but I have a whole bunch of them die cut in my little die cut drawer here. So anytime I need leaves, I literally just reach in and grab them. I seem to use sage a lot for my leaves, so that's the color I have them cut in. And I think it really brings that pink flower to life. Now I have another sticker here, this camera that says captured, and I think I'm going to put it right here. I did remove the sticky with an anti-static pouch just so I can play around with it, and add another leaf there so it kind of looks like it's coming out from behind the flower. Now I wanted one more pink flower, but I hate to cut up that beautiful pattern paper. My other option was to use this one and cut that out, and that's what I did. I just went around with my scissors and cut it out. It didn't matter that it had a flat side to it because I'm just going to tuck it behind anyways. I'm just going to go in and add a few more leaves into this cluster too, so that I have some leaves in each of my 3 clusters. Plus, it just doesn't seem right to have flowers and no leaves. Like, that just feels like a must. So I'm going to play around with a couple of different sizes here, and I don't want to have to go and die cut anything, so I'm working with the sizes and the shapes of the ones I have die cut. I think this die cuts out like 4 styles of different leaves. So I have a few options to play with, and I'm just going to tuck them in. I do really enjoy the embellishment part of creating a layout, so I take my time with it. Now, looking back at the sketch here, there are some tags up there, and I don't think I'm going to add those. I am not really a huge tag person. I add them, but not regularly. I decided instead to add the little remember this little banner. I like when there's word strips. I love word strips. So when a sticker sheet has really good word strips, that's one of my favorites. Now I'm taking some of the paperboard pieces. This is a really beautiful flourish, and I'm just trying to see if it will work here or if it's going to be too much. I'm trying to walk that line between having, embellishment clusters that are pretty and add to the page, but I don't want them to take over and kind of overpower my photos. I will be adding color to these pieces. I'm going to make them metallic silver. So I also don't want them to be too big and kind of be the only thing that catches your eye. So I'm just kind of moving things around to see where they should go. The flourish would look really pretty there, but I wanted to try this smaller flourish and see if maybe it just suited the space a little bit better. So I still get that little bit of bling, but without it being so overpowering. Now I have some of the other flourishes that are in this paperboard set. And of course, I'm like dismantling my whole little cluster, trying to get it behind here. And I thought maybe this one would work back here, but when you don't see the full flourish, it looks kind of weird, like a strange octopus coming out from behind my flower. And yeah, I'm like, that's really not going to work for me. See, if you could see more of the flourish, it makes sense, but this is not an under the sea page, so I didn't want anything that looked like an octopus. I'm also going to try the flourish that I was trying down below, but it just looks kind of awkward to me with the leaf there. It just left a weird gap. So, well, why not try it one more place? And yeah, no, that's not going to work for me either. So as much as I want the flourish to work, it's just not meant for this page. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. No matter how much you want to use a certain embellishment, it just wasn't meant for that particular layout or that particular spot, and I have to be okay with that. So I'm going to try this little kind of scrolly heart. I really like that there, and I think once I fix the leaves, that will look good. So I just want to work in a little bit more of the paperboard pieces. Remember, these are all going to be silver, so they're not going to stay that grayish color. I mean, I could leave them that color, but I just think silver will look a lot better. So this is the Spectrum Noir metallic paint pens. This is in the color Quicksilver. Close to my heart used to carry these, but they don't carry them anymore. Last time I looked for a link for this silver one, I couldn't find one, but if I can find it somewhere, like scrapbook.com, I will link it for you. And I really love these, whether it's like silver or gold, both of those colors, I use them all the time. Now, if you don't have them, you could also use like liquid pearls. You could use acrylic paint, spray mist. There's so many different things you could use. You could put stickles on them. Those paperboard pieces really are like a blank canvas. Now, since those paint pens are like real paint inside, they take a while to dry. So I went ahead, painted them, let them dry off camera, and then I adhered everything down. So now everything is attached kind of right where I showed you that it was going. And I decided to paint a few more pieces because I liked that heart on the right hand page and I wanted to bring another one in on the left hand page. And then also I decided just one heart didn't look as good as like one larger heart and one smaller heart. So I had to go in and paint some more of the little hearts and just kind of scatter them around in my clusters. I'm using the Barely art glue to attach all of these pieces because there's some really fine little details and you don't need to put glue on all of the parts, but enough of them to make sure they're going to stay stuck to the page. And I love the fine tip applicator on this glue, and it works really good whether I put it straight to the page and then drop my heart on top, or if I'm trying to do a more detailed piece. It also worked really good for the title and that pretty word day. You know, it's kind of hard with all that detail to get the glue in the right places, but with this glue bottle, it makes it super easy. Now I think I'm almost done. There's really not much else I could add. I thought maybe about adding some rhinestones or some splatter, but instead I decided to go back to the sticker sheet and I found this No Place Like Home sticker and I wanted to make it fit in somewhere. And I really like it here below this photo since these are pictures of us just hanging around at home and just spending time together and relaxing. And of course, some really cute pictures of Frankie enjoying the sun. I'm going to give you guys a little close up here so you could see the shine that you get from the paint pen. Lots of texture and detail, but the photos are still the star of the show. I love that I could fit so many on here as well as journaling. That's always an important part. I am going to sit down and write my journaling later. I'm not going to do it on camera today. But I love how this page came together and I hope it gave you a good idea for a fun layout. Make sure you go check out the sketchbook. It is linked below, and then click on the playlist here and watch the rest of the Creative Design Team videos. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.